And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is the Sports Cave. We got so much to talk about on this Tuesday edition of the Sports Cave. We got the NLCS already done through 2 games. Game 2 happening in just about an hour between the Yankees and the Guardians. We got some NBA news to talk about. We got hockey action, yo. We got some NFL trades, NFL recap. We got a lot to talk about. Your co-host, Robbie, my co-host, Zach.
I can't even hold a straight face trying to do this.
I can hear you, buddy.
Ugh.
I don't know if you got your mic muted.
Hello?
Muted my thing.
Hello?
Goddamn thing you're saying. You did something. I hope you're proud of yourself, folks. Zach
Hello?
Rogan came here unprepared. Not a goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing. You can't hear him? Because I can't fucking hear him. What the fuck?
Hello? Nothing?
Okay,
I'm going to leave and come back. Loud and clear. Yeah, Robbie, you're the fucking one that can't hear me, you fucking potato.
There's going to be a lot of fucking editing on a day of like today, Zachary.
Thanks, guys. Everyone can hear me but Robert. Yeah, I can hear me fucking perfectly fine on the TV, Robert. So it's Robbie's end. Anyways, guys, while Robbie's trying to figure this one out here, I'll just slide on in here. Hell of a weekend. I mean, as Robert said, there was some big trades today. I'm sure Steve is.
Thing you're saying, bud. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Okay, do you want? I don't know how. You did something on your end here. I'm gonna give Robert a call here live. A great start. A fucking fantastic start here. Let's see here, folks, if he answers here.
I hear you through my fucking, what's it called?
Maybe try to unplug your mic and plug it back in or something. Because I'm hearing you loud and clear on my end. You know? Well, this is going to be an interesting episode if we can't hear each other. That's for sure. Please stand by. This is what happens with a live show, folks. Sometimes there's some technical difficulties here. Hey, can you even hear yourself through it?
No, I can hear you through my fucking, what's it called?
Well, you can hear me.
Try again.
Hello?
I don't know. I'm retarded.
What did your dumbass have on?
After I faded away the Undertaker music, I forgot to fade it back up.
You know, it's...
You got me all fucked up,
It's
all right?
funny because you immediately point to that like it was going to be my fault, and it was your dumbass that fucked it up. But anyways, guys, let's fucking start this show off here, okay? As Robert said, we have some... I'm not sure what this noise is signifying. This may be the noise of the inaugural funeral of the Cleveland Browns 2024 NFL season. Today, October 15th, 2024, is the day that shall go down in history as the death of the Cleveland Browns season. Amari Cooper, star wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns, has been traded to the Buffalo Bills, along with a 6th-round pick in this year's draft, coming back in the Browns' direction, a 3rd-round pick in this year's draft, and a 7th-round pick in next year's draft. And I mean, you know what, Robbie? I didn't want to do my Browns rant this early, if I was going to be honest with you. I thought we were going to go through a couple games. I was going to get warmed up, but here we are. I'm going to start off strong. I'm going to start off hot. Turn that shit off right now, for fuck's sakes. Being a fan of this team, dude, is like, I'm just telling you, it's it's like only being able to have sex with retarded girls, you know? Like sometimes it's kind of nice, but majority of the time it sucks. If that makes any sense, Robbie. That trade today was just a kick right in the cock. It's like the football gods just grabbed my balls and just ripped them right out of my sack. And now I'm left with a legitimate fucking idiot as a quarterback. The guy doesn't even know how to play quarterback. A wide receiver core where Jerry Jeudy. Let me repeat that. Where Jerry Jeudy is the fucking number one wide receiver getting the ball from Deshaun Watson. Robbie, I'm going to say it right now, dude. I don't care that Nick Chubb is coming back this week. If I'm Nick Chubb, I might even just say, dude, fuck this. I'm sitting out this year to make sure I don't get fucking hurt again because we have no offensive line anymore. It is at this point, if I'm Nick Chubb, Robbie, I don't know what you do. Do you go to them and just be like, obviously you guys are in no area to win any football games this season. Why even put me in? You might as well lose out because you finally have a first-round draft pick going into next year that's yours. Go to get a top 5 pick, draft a quarterback, and get this stupid fucking asshole out of Cleveland. That's all I'm praying to God that happens. It probably won't happen, though. I'm probably going to be stuck with this fucking cocksucker going into next season, unless like 4 or 5 more sexual assault cases pop up, which hate to sound like an asshole, Robbie, but I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping they do, so we can get this guy off our team. Not to say that I want any more victims. I don't even care if they're made up case at this point. Just circulate some rumors and get this guy the fuck out of here because this guy is driving me absolutely mental. I know we're starting off hot here, and that's why I told Robbie I didn't want to do this from the get-go, but fuck it. He's letting me do it. We lose a tough one to the Eagles, and I mean, at that point, you're 1-5. The season's pretty much over. I knew Amari Cooper was going to get dealt. I'm happy to see him go to the Bills. The Bills are, I got a lot of friends that are Bills fans, so at least I'll be able to keep my eye on him. Plus, the Bills are usually the cable TV football game that's on here in Canada, so I'll be able to keep my eye on him. And I mean, he's going to a hell of a quarterback here. I mean, he's literally going from last to first, rather. My apologies. I mean, he's probably fired up. The return, whatever. It's not that terrible. When you see Davante Adams return, I guess it makes it a little bit sweeter that it's the same as Davante Adams. Because let's be honest here, Robbie, Davante Adams and Amari Cooper are kind of on different level or different playing fields as per their strengths and weaknesses. But it was just a tough day today, Robert. Tough day. Some bright spots, I guess. If Nick Chubb does come back, it will be excited to see him play some football for the first time in over a calendar year. I mean, that's always something you want to be fired up for. But, yeah, this season's done. This team is done. Deshaun Watson's football career should be over because that man should be nowhere near a football field with how shitty. He shouldn't even be playing in the fucking CFL, the XFL. This guy shouldn't even be playing in fucking, I don't even know, the Australian Football League. He wouldn't even make the fucking AFL. And I'm going to have my rant with this, Robbie. It was a team coming into week 1 where I was filled with hopes and dreams. And just like every goddamn team I cheer for, Robbie, they rip it out of my chest and they stomp it to death in front of my very own eyeballs. Thank you. Oh, and also before I finish, we did lose Philadelphia, but Nick's here, Annie. You are a fucking loser. I mean, congratulations. You beat the 1-5 Cleveland Browns with the worst offense minus the New England Patriots in the NFL. And I'm sure with the Patriots, they keep going with Drake May. They ain't going to be the worst offense for much longer. I'm sure Cleveland will be taken over, who has not scored over 20 points in a game so far this season. Deshaun Watson has not thrown over 200 yards in a game so far this season. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then you got Sirianni going at his own fans because they want him fired, which I'm shocked this motherfucker still has a job, if we're going to be honest with one another. It blows me away. That guy's a full retard, Robbie, and he's coaching a football team. Okay, now I'm done. I'm getting heated again. I know we're tight for time today because we have a New York Yankee baseball game later on tonight that I'm sure Mr. Robert would like to watch.
All hail the New York Giants!
You're a real piece of shit. You know that?
That's when your season end is the second you lost to the New York Football Giants. And Zachary,
yeah.
I mean, is it safe to say that the Cleveland Browns 2024 season, 2025 season is officially eliminated.
Yeah, it's so done. At this point, Robbie, my only want for this year, and I'm being dead serious, I want to lose out. I would have no problem losing every single game from here on out this season to solidify a top 3, top 2, maybe even first overall pick, and go out there and get us a fucking quarterback.
Well, before we continue with the NFL, we want to make this quick note. Game 3 of the ALCS is at 4 o'clock on Thursday. We thought we'd do the show Friday. Friday, we are celebrating our good friend Steve Sabansky, as we are in good spirits and good hopes of him celebrating a new job, which could be a career path for Steve. So
Congrats. What a week for Steve.
Fingers crossed for our friend Steve Sabansky this Friday. We're going to celebrate or we're going to drink the pain away. It's going to be one of the two, but Son tells me we're going to celebrate.
We're celebrating.
We're going to drink. We're smoke cigars. We're going to have a good time. Saturday, I'm going to the UConn Huskies football game, so we won't be able to do it Saturday. So it leaves us one last day, folks. Softball is at 8 and 9, which means I'll be free at 11. And Zach has said I am not making any plans. I'm free at 11. There will be no show Thursday. There will be no show Friday. No show Saturday. Sunday. Oh, actually.
Throw it on there, bitch.
Sunday. The sports game will be live right before NFL kickoff, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. So we are moving that bitch to 11 a.m. Sunday morning, folks. So
It
get your
depends.
coffee, get the bait.
When the Yankees make the World Series, and in case they got to play on Thursday or Tuesday, so
Yeah, we'll have we'll be able to kind of watch that game sort of live.
But
But
they fucking
Bob,
suck.
it's the Patriots versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, let's be honest here.
They fucking suck.
Okay, Robbie, let's get into some football here. We got
2024-2025 New England Patriots season officially dead.
There we go. Me and Robert, same boat. I saw Bob. He was saying the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys. So Rob, Bob, and Zach all in the same boat here today, folks. It's been a tough week for us. But
All right.
Robbie, let's get into it. We talked about
Let's get sued.
we're getting sued. Oh my goodness gracious. Mr. Roberts, should I go through the NFL news before we go through some of these games here? Because we got some breaking trades that I've already kind of alluded to. So you know what? I think I might, we'll just get over them. We'll get these out of the way here. I already mentioned the Amari Cooper one. I went over those details. If you didn't hear it, I'll say it one more time quickly for you folks. Buffalo Bills receiving Amari Cooper, 6th-round pick in this year's draft, which is actually the Detroit Lions pick. It's not Cleveland's 6th-round pick. It's the pick that we acquired from the Lions and whatever fucking trade that came from. And in return, we are getting the 3rd-round pick from the Bills in this draft and the 7th-round pick in next year's draft. So the bigger of the two trades today, though, Robbie, and the question has finally been answered, is Davante Adams going to stay a Raider? Is he going to go to Buffalo? Is he going to go to Baltimore? Is he going to join his old pal and create the New York Packers? And there you have your answer, Robert. Excuse me. Davante Adams heading to rejoin his pal Aaron Rodgers in the bright lights of New York City. Coming back in the Jets' way as a conditional 3rd-round pick. I do not know what the conditions are, but I believe it's something of a performance.
It's a 4th round.
4th round, my apologies.
Which could be converted into a
Second. For performance base, right?
Correct.
Okay, so, and I mean, that's a huge trade for the Jets there, Robbie. I mean, I feel bad for Garrett Wilson fantasy owners. I feel bad for Alan Lazard fantasy owners. But I mean, you are
Alan Lazard in fantasy.
There's a couple guys in my league that he's had a few big games this year, Robbie.
So, when your
But
buddy's
whatever.
that because the wide receiver sucked dick.
With the bye weeks coming. Now, the only problem here is, Robbie, are we seeing, is this kind of remind you of a team that you cheered for in a different sport back in the day?
What are you talking about? You son of a bitch.
I'm just saying, does it not have a little bit of Brooklyn Nets vibe with when you bring in the fossils near the end of the career?
Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm not trying to rain
Why
anyone's
you gotta
parade.
fucking make it about me? Why? Because you're fucking dwelling about your dog shit fucking team. You dwell it onto me? Huh? You want to remind me of my past? Huh? I can get loud now, Zachary. They're out of the house. Don't
Okay,
fuck with me.
Let's relax here, sir. Okay, I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers has not looked very Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he had that incredible Hail Mary last game. Is this maybe the pickup that Mr. Rodgers needed to get back into some prime form that we have seen throughout his entire career, Robert?
It's this Jets team really. I had high hopes about the Jets going to Zach.
You picked them to win a Super Bowl.
I did, and I really thought that Aaron Rodgers would find a way to hype up the boys and make a run for the Super Bowl. But right now, I mean, they're more so running for the fucking toilet bowl. They fucking stink.
Steve, I mean, I don't think what I said is that bad, actually, now that what Robert just said there.
It's true.
Yeah,
They
I mean, it's...
They can't get nothing going on offense. The defense hasn't been too bad, but the offense, there's not. I mean, let's be honest. Jets lose that game by probably 10 points had they not caught that Hail Mary.
Yeah, no, that's probably true.
It was a very lucky.
Well,
catch.
you know what?
We're also Aaron Rodgers.
We're talking about
Hail Mary. I get it.
2 missed field goals, too, from the Jets. So if you look at it that way, they make those field goals. That's a win for them by 3.
Yeah, I don't know why they ever brought back Greg the Leg. He stinks.
So, I mean, did you see that fucking one asshole that had a $10 bet to win $129,000?
No.
So the last leg he had was the New York Jets money line, and going into the game on tell me what you would do here, Robbie. Going into this game on a $10 bet, his cash out was about $36.5 thousand.
Cash.
In a second, I would cash that out. This guy let a road. It got up to at one point in the game at like $80,000 cash out. He still let a road. He ended up cashing it out for $5,000.
See, now one of my buddies at work, I don't know if he's listening right now or not. He had the Bills heading into his parlay last night, and he was like, "I can win $70 or I can win $180." I was like, "Oh yeah, you fucking ride it out," and it all panned out for him. Something that crazy where it's $36,000 fucking
$10. Like, I understand the guy still did win $5,000 off $10. That's great. He's probably kicking himself right now for essentially kicking a no sweat $30,000 just off to the side.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, if you really wanted to get all hot and horny, what you could have done is cash that out and then bet fucking $10,000 on the Jets or whatever, and you still pocketed $16,000 minimum, or $26,000. Mm-hmm. But let's get into some more games here, Robbie. Actually, a little bit more news also regarding with the Jets. They have finally given Hassan Reddick permission to speak with some teams, so maybe that era is finally coming to an end.
It's definitely coming to an end, especially after the Devontae Adams trade, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, what team is going to say, "Well, we want to take that on"?
Yeah, with that ego and that fucking.
Like his agency left him, so everybody's blaming the agency. It seems like it's been Hassan Reddick this whole time being a fucking stubborn prick.
Yeah, he does look like a bit of an asshole here. We'll have to see where he gets moved to. And then the last bit of news before we get into the game here, Robert. Real tough break for the Detroit Lions, and I mean that literally and figuratively, because Aiden Hutchinson.
I have something for Steve.
Okay, here you go.
I just made this while we were breaking down everything. How's that?
Well, that was kind of hard to hear. I'm not going to lie to you. That sounded like a lot of fans chanting Jets, 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 Jets.
Correct.
But going in what I was saying there, Robert, Aiden Hutchinson, star player for the Detroit Lions. Dude, his leg, I mean, legs, dude, like that thing snapped like legitimately in half. Mm-hmm. Just, you could literally hear it live on the broadcast. I don't think we need to play it or anything like that because it was fucking disgusting. But let's just say, first of all, Dan Campbell comes out and says, don't rule him out for the rest of the season, which if this motherfucker comes back and plays this year, that is incredible.
Aiden Hutchinson's a dog, and steroids are also very powerful. Go on.
Yeah, very true. But just real tough break for the Lions. I mean, their offense is still it's top 3 in the NFL. I mean, we're talking. Yeah. I'd say right now between them and Baltimore are the 2 offenses that are the 2 scariest in my opinion.
I just want to try this one more time, Zachary, because it was very loud. According to a lot of people outside of you. Hopefully gets a better octave. I turned that down.
Oh, hopefully fucking blow Blue's fucking speakers.
I hope not. I
It
brought
is pretty loud. I can still hear it coming out
brought
of my
it down.
TV.
It was at 100. I brought it down to 19. I hope it's not that fucking loud.
But yeah, Robbie, I mean, we don't have to really say much more about that. We're was for a speedy recovery, but that was fucking disgusting, dude. It literally, it was like a firework went off when he snapped it in half.
I know. And Zachary, since we're talking about that, I mean, we're out of order here, but it's okay. Since we're talking about that game.
Oh, I was just talking about. I was just gonna go through a little bit of news first, then start. But we can get into this one here.
No. Let's go into the news then. So we got Aiden Hutchinson. And then there was another lineman that they had that's going on the IR as well to go alongside with Aiden Hutchinson. So it makes you wonder, like, the Lions. There's one guy that's extremely, extremely frustrated with where he's at right now, and he's given a lot to this team throughout the years. And do you know who that is?
I can't say I do.
Maxwell Crosby.
Oh yes.
The Detroit Lions should do anything within their power to call up the Raiders and say, we need that guy. And then eventually at one point you'll have him on one side and Hutchinson on the other.
It's pretty powerful 1-2 punch.
Daddy. Oh, daddy.
Oh, daddy. Well, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Robert, let's go through these games here, and we will start with Thursday. I've already gone through the Browns and Eagles games, so thank God that one out of the way. Thursday Night Football featured San Francisco going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. San Fran edges them out 36-24 in actually a pretty good little battle royale. Brock Purdy had a pretty swell game himself. They're 18 for 28, 255 yards, throwing 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith, not so good. 30 for 52, 312 yards, 1 TD, 2 picks. And San Francisco now, Robbie, they're finally getting back into the win column where the Seattle Seahawks, after starting 3-0, now sit at 3-3.
I see TJ's in the comments.
Oh, my God. Do you hear anything I said there?
I did hear everything you said there. You read off Geno Smith's stat line. Did you see DK? He tried to fucking open the door there. Did you see DK Metcalf screaming into the headphones in regards to the terrible offensive play calling?
I can't say I did.
Yeah, he went up to whoever gets the fucking shit from the offensive coordinator, and he went up and he's like, pass the ball down the field or something like that. Like frustrations from DK Metcalf in that game.
Well, we're talking about a team that was 3-0, Robbie. It was all looking pretty fucking high in Seattle. Now sitting 3-3.
She lost the Patriots, so we got screwed by the refs again.
Well, but San Francisco in the divisional matchup edges out Seattle Seahawks. Let's move on, Robert, to the second of the London games. You guys will be
Josh Donaldson talking shit, bro. Hurricane Milton damage to the roof of Tropicana Field is a bigger deal than most understand. It will cost 9 figures to replace, and moving into new park in a few years doesn't make sense. Rays can't play. There no draining system for rain. Where will they play in 2025? Josh Donaldson responds and goes, a local high school field would be much better.
Wow. Throwing some shade.
News! The Houston Texans are trading Cam Akers to the Minnesota Vikings. That's breaking news.
Well, I mean, I was hoping for more exciting, but I guess that is breaking news. Cam Akers, veteran running back, kind of a shit running back, if we're going to be honest with you. But
Jesus Christ, Devontae Adams has custom cleats already. Like this guy knew he was going to be a Jet. He knew all along.
Yeah, he had those made weeks ago. But Robbie, let's go down to London here, okay? Jacksonville Jaguars playing their first of 2 games in London, facing off against the Chicago Bears, and the Bears just plowed them. 35-16. Bears have now won 3 in a row, Robbie, but all of their wins so far this season have come from teams with a record of either 1-5 or 1-4. So I'm not too sure if this team is legit yet or not. Yes, they are smashing these shitty teams, but I would like to see them against the Green Bay Packers. I want to see them against a good team and see how they fare, because I'm not too sold yet.
Give them the benefit of the doubt because they didn't have Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is back. He had 2 touchdowns. Cole Kmet is a red zone threat. DeAndre Swift has figured his way out. The defense looked good. I get it, but that's what you're supposed to do if you're supposed to be a good team. You're supposed to beat the shit out of the shitty teams. And it doesn't matter if Caleb Williams has his fingernails painted, lip gloss, fucking butt plugs, whatever. If this guy's going to like this, then give him all the butt plugs, give him all the nail polish and all the
Okay.
lip gloss and lipstick, whatever he needs.
Where are you getting butt plugged from? I thought it was just the finger paint and stuff.
I don't know. I
Using
think the
BP
guy
as well?
he does some pretty homosexual shit that I wouldn't do, and I'm sure you wouldn't do. TJ might do it. What?
Okay, TJ, big butt plug guy. Yep, Caleb Williams with a 4-touchdown game. Did get the interception, but like we said, I mean, just absolutely plowed through this Jacksonville Jaguars team. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars is this is off the rails today. The Jacksonville Jaguars, their season is right up there with the Dallas Cowboys, the Cleveland Browns, and the New England Patriots.
The Jaguars got to fire Doug Peterson.
Yeah,
You
know what'd be hilarious, Robbie?
with Isaiah and his, which by the way, I guarantee you Isaiah's not going to join the show after I ripped him a new asshole on Sunday because he's a piece of shit fucking friend.
Nice.
Actually, I ripped into him Sunday because I joined his Xbox Live party to talk about Dak Prescott. We'll get into that later. But you got to fire Doug Pearson, dude. I mean, and honestly, I watched that game. Trevor Lawrence honestly wasn't bad. Them bringing in Gabe Davis and deciding to move on from Calvin Ridley or not giving Calvin Ridley enough money. I'm not going to say anything about Calvin Ridley being bad because Will Levis fucking sucks. Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins, whatever's going on in Tennessee is not their fault. Will Levis fucking sucks. But to go from Calvin Ridley to Gabe Davis, 90% of the time, when you have average wide receivers like Gabe Davis, like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, when you have guys of that caliber get paid to go to average quarterbacks or good quarterbacks that aren't great, like Josh Allen, like Tom Brady, like Patrick Mahomes, like Peyton Manning, like Aaron Rodgers, like Brett Favre, like Deshaun Watson when he was with the Texans.
Okay, you fucking.
When they go to those type of teams, they suck. Gabe Davis fucking stinks. I just feel bad for Trevor Lawrence because, he had his number one target. He's gone. He's trying to reconnect with Christian Kirk, and it's not working, but he's got a good rookie in Brian Thomas. I mean, there's nothing in Jacksonville that looks set in stone. It looks like it's always trying to be too spread out instead of just like give it to this one guy with the hint of this and all that shit. But then again, they also get Evan Ingram back. He had a great game. I don't know. They just don't look like a team. They don't look together.
I think it'd be funny if they would have fired him after this week and then he had to just find his own way home from London.
No. They're in London again. And you know what's crazy? They play why not just keep them out in London at this point, dude? They're always in fucking London more so than Jacksonville.
First of all, if you're trying to grow the game, what are you putting the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars and the New England Patriots out there for?
Yeah, send Deshaun Watson to London so he could sexually assault more women.
Okay, and we're going to move on here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with an offensive explosion against the New Orleans Saints, 51-27. All 27 of the Saints' points coming in the second quarter, which is just, that's just crazy. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield with the fullest of full stat lines here, Robert. 24 for 36, 325 yards throwing, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Spencer Rattler in his first game went 22 for 40, 243, 1 TD, 2 picks. So not a stellar first game for him, but he did look very good in that second quarter, so maybe we're going to see more bursts of that. But this Buccaneers offense, Robbie, is pretty electric here. Chris Godwin.
Dare I say this Buccaneers offense is top 5 in football?
I would 100% agree with you, and I think Chris Godwin has become a top 5 wide receiver this season.
Him and Mike Evans have both been doing significant.
It's incredible. This was a great pickup for me in fantasy.
Very lucky because last year he was
Well, sometimes you got to take a risk. But the Buccaneers, Robbie, just plowing through their NFC South rival.
What the hell does your hat say?
Howie's. It's a hockey brand.
Okay.
Okay. Well. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about this game there, Robert, or shall I move on?
Spencer Rattler, Saints got 27 points in the second quarter. They scored 0 after that.
Yes, I do miss Baker in Cleveland. Even with 3 interceptions, if you're putting stats up with 4 TDs, then...
Rudy, please stick around for Lions Cowboys talk, please.
Well, you know what? Then let's get into some of these games. Robbie, let's speed this one up for Mr. Rudy. This one, our good pal Ryan. I hope he's still around. He's gonna like this. Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! Green Bay Packers get the job done at Lambeau Field against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Cardinals, Robbie, kind of stink. Let's be honest with each other. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes down with an injury in that game.
When that happened, that changed everything, dude.
Yeah.
Stink. It just shows that like it's not a skilled roster outside of Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, Budda Baker when Budda Baker's healthy, Trey McBride too. But
yeah,
it's a weird type of rebuild because are you trying to rebuild with Kyler? Are you trying to do it through the draft? Are you trying to do free agency? Are you trying to finagle it both ways? No homo, no diddy. Arizona. I mean, Arizona is probably the most. No, not the most because Cleveland and the Jets are right there for most dysfunctional franchises in the NFL. But it's one of.
I mean, Steve just catching strays here. Yeah, they're not looking too good so far this season, Robbie. The Packers absolutely plow right through them. 34-13, home field moving to 4-2. And Robbie, with a 4-2 record, what place are the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North?
Tied for last with the Chicago Bears.
Yes. And that division, Robbie, their differential in that division. Let me go through some of these for you quickly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota Vikings lead the way with a plus 63. Second, the Detroit Lions with a plus 60. Bears at a plus 47, and the Packers at a plus 41.
Best division in football.
That's fucking nuts.
By far. Who would have ever thought if you had asked 2 or 3 years ago, would this ever be the best division of football? We all fucking laugh and say, no chance before 2030 will this be the best division of football. And here it is, the best division by far in football. I mean, is there a chance that all 4 of those teams can make the wild card in the division? Like they can all make
yeah.
the playoffs?
I think 100% there's a chance of that. I mean, look at this division. If the Packers right now are sitting in last place, you know what? Like I did say earlier, though, I would like to see what the Chicago Bears team has when they do face some good opponents here.
Now, here's
they would be my one outlier.
Here's something fun here. Jordan Love is probably the one quarterback that really stands out. So from worst to best, Zachary, you start and I'll go after. From worst to best, here we are through 6 weeks. From worst to best, quarterbacks in the NFC North, go.
Worst to best. Okay, well, I mean, Jared Goff. I'm going to have to say. No. Oh, worst to best. This is very tough, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're just going by what's going on in this season, I'm going to have to go with Caleb Williams as the worst.
Okay.
I will say Jared Goff is the third worst, Sam Darnold second, and Jordan Love is first.
If we're talking through 6 weeks of football.
And that's with Jordan Love's injuries, and he's almost at the top of the league in passing touchdowns. Maybe not first. With Sam Darnold, the way he's been playing this year, I think I'll have to put him first. I know it's crazy. I know he hasn't done that much lackluster, but leading that team to a 5-0 fucking record cannot go unwarranted.
The worst one has been Caleb Williams. He's just turning it around now, but the first 3 weeks he looked pretty fucking shitty, but he's turning it around. Next, I'm going to go with Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is still like a top 10 quarterback in football, honestly. But Jordan Love is better, although Jordan Love has missed time. Jordan Love is my second, and Sam Darnold's been the best quarterback in the division thus far through 6 weeks. It's not even close. It's not.
I mean, but if you're going to give me any of those guys to take on my team for a playoff run, it's going to be Jared Goff or Jordan Love.
I was going to say Jared Goff all the way.
Yeah.
For me, it's Jared Goff over Jordan Love. The guy has made it all the way to the Super Bowl. He made it damn close to the Super Bowl again last year. For me, it's Jared Goff.
Just statistically this year, that's just the way the cards have fallen.
Yeah. I mean, this is can't miss these games until we see one team fully collapse, and the betting odds favorites of like fully collapsing are the Bears.
Yeah, which I think that's going to be the team.
What will hold the Bears back is their head coach. Matt Eberflus is not a good coach, and I think that it's something they really do have to address in the offseason. Only one of those quarterbacks threw a perfect game, though. Yeah.
And also, we should also note out, Robbie, the Bears do not play a division matchup till week 11. So that is a tough stretch of games to finish off your season. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's move on to the next game here, Robbie. Indianapolis Colts edging out the Tennessee Titans 20-17. Joe Flacco. That was I had that one as well, too.
Yep.
Joe Flacco did not look as good as he was, but as good as he has looked, rather. But thankfully for him, Will Levis I guess there's one quarterback in the league I'd rather not have than Deshaun Watson, and that's probably Will Levis. So I guess if we have to look at the positives here, I have one quarterback that my quarterback might potentially be better than. Will Levis, 95 yards throwing on 16 completions, 27 attempts, 1 TD, 1 interception. I mean, this game was pretty close to the end there, Robbie. Joe Flacco makes that kind of crazy heave.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Obviously, he was kind of going for Pittman, but that was just a pure I'm going to put this up here and hope to God that my boy can get the job done. And Pittman, the man who was, it looked like inches away from being placed on the fucking IR list for 4 weeks, ends up playing on the game and the catch of the game to seal the victory for the Colts.
Jonathan Taylor was almost progressing to playing, so he might return this upcoming week 7. We'll see. Zach, that's what happens when there's a quarterback in the NFL from the state of Connecticut. If you haven't learned from Dan Orlowski and Tim Boyle, you're not going to learn from fucking Will Levis. I mean, this dude just stinks, dude.
He's not good.
Sucks. And it makes me wonder with what the Titans are doing and with what the Browns are doing. Are you guys competing for Shedeur Sanders at this point?
I don't even know if I want Shedeur Sanders, to be honest with you, out of the quarterbacks that are available.
Really? What quarterback would you? Oh, breaking news! Breaking news!
Carson Beck.
Go, Pat, go!
Oh no, what's going on here?
The Green Bay Packers. Ryan's going to be thrilled to hear this. The Green Bay Packers are signing former Jaguars veteran kicker Brandon McManus. Brandon McManus was initially on the commissioner's exempt list for sexual assault until he is found not guilty. He will be kicking this upcoming Sunday. Ryan made aware to me that their kicker that they have had has diabetes.
Okay. Well, I mean, what is he, fat?
See, look, Steve, right there. Oh, my God, no
Oh,
diabetic.
no diabetic anymore. Well, good thing they don't have the risk of guy fucking having a diabetic attack
He goes out
going
in
for
the
a game-winning field
like,
goal.
having a fucking, he needs
Yeah.
insulin. It's not there because you can't call it.
I'm sure if he's dealt with his whole career, he's probably prepped and ready for it, Robert. But, Robbie, this next game we're going to talk about here, Robbie, I'm going to leave the floor to you, my friend. Okay? Houston Texans coming in to Gillette Stadium to play the New England Patriots in Drake May's first start as a professional quarterback of the NFL. And, Robbie, they did lose 41-21 to that powerhouse Houston Texans offense, but Drake May showed some spurts, made a few mistakes, which was obviously to be assumed. Your first start, obviously dealing with a lot of jitters. But honest to God, I think for his first start, he looked pretty goddamn good. So I'm going to let you take the floor here, and you just have yourself some fun.
No complaints out of me. The offensive line is so fucking dreadful. And Antonio Gibson only rushed for 19 yards on 13 attempts because every time he handed off the ball, the Texans sealed the holes, and there was nothing for Antonio Gibson to work towards. Where I was having the conversation with my buddy at work that, Ramondre Stevenson would have had something. Well, yeah, Ramondre Stevenson's like 30 pounds heavier and is just going to bulldoze his way through and find a way to get through the hole. No diddy.
Can you stop saying that?
Drake May, for what he has to work with, a terrible offensive line, a very underwhelming wide receiver core, was very good. His first interception that he had was fucking terrible. It was ugly. But where it really opened up is when he started utilizing his legs and the Texans had to adapt and respect his running game.
And then, booty, rocking everywhere.
I thought this was my time, bitch.
Sorry,
I gave you your time. I gave you your time for this.
Booty.
Shut up, bitch!
Booty.
Shut up, bitch!
Booty.
Shut up, bitch!
All right, go on, you fucking cocksucker.
Shut up, bitch! Shut up, bitch!
Thank you. There was a lot of times where I was watching Drake May throw the football, and I was saying, wow, I haven't seen a quarterback throw a football like that in a Patriots uniform since Tom Brady, where he's taking shots down fucking field, where you have Cam Newton who couldn't throw the ball downfield anymore. You have Mac Jones who has, my arm might be stronger than Mac Jones. You have Jacoby Brissett who's getting fucking beat up, victimized, and conquered because of the terrible offensive line. And the Patriots did something that they haven't done since 2019, Zachary. They scored a touchdown in 3 straight quarters when Tom Brady was a quarterback. It's the last time that's happened.
Can I speak now?
Drake
That's
May.
gotta be.
Drake May. Drake May. Better than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you're really setting the bar low on that comparison, to be honest with you. But, yeah, no, he looked good, Robbie. I got nothing bad to say about him. Let's see what happens. I like how the instant Tom Brady comparisons come out after one start. That's always exciting to hear.
Oh my God. Taco Bell posted a fucking thing for undisclosed address for Deshaun, or not Deshaun, Devontae Adams' house because he had a Taco Bell or whatever inside of his house or whatever. Yeah, you know that.
Oh my God. Robert, do you have anything else you want to say about this Patriots game, or shall we move on?
Move on, and as we're doing the show on Sunday, we'll see how Drake May looks as we are live Sunday.
Boom, man. Robbie, the next game here to talk about was an exciting one, a battle of what people were saying was a measuring stick game, possibly a passing of the torch game between Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels. The Commanders do fall short 23-30. Excuse me. But, I mean, I think if you're a Commanders fan and you're watching this game, Robbie, you can take some positives out of this. I mean, they held in there with probably the best offense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the Baltimore Ravens have really turned their season around after the first 2 weeks. I mean, losing to the Raiders is one we're going to look back when they possibly are going for a Super Bowl that we're going to be like, how the fuck did this team lose to the Las Vegas Raiders in week 2 or week 1, whatever it was? Nonetheless, they're getting shit done now. Big win against the Commanders. They're now moving to 4-2 with 4 wins in a row. Next week, they're going up against the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay, so it's going to be a tough one there. We'll be talking more about that on Sunday. But Robbie, what did you watch any of this game here? Because I mean, Jaden Daniels played pretty good. Lamar Jackson played pretty good. It was a battle of two running quarterbacks, 2 versatile quarterbacks, I should say. Right. But I think if you're a Commander fan, like I said, I think you can take some positives out of this game. That I'm not saying you're a Super Bowl contender this year, but I think that there is a very, very good chance that there is a window that's opening up here soon in Washington.
Washington has gotten the most respect it's gotten since before I was alive. I mean, RG3 had 1 season, tore his ACL, and all went to shit. Kirk Cousins wanted to get paid. They were too cheap to pay him. And it all might work out in the long run. And what really helps out here is with how Jaden Daniels is playing. With Dan Quinn's track record as a coach, when you have people like Micah Parsons, which should worry Cowboys fans, saying that he might go wherever Dan Quinn goes because he really enjoys Dan Quinn. Washington could become a very hot destination. New ownership group with Magic Johnson. All the athletes across fucking the United States love Magic Johnson. It's not for his age and either. It's because who he is as a human being.
Okay.
The new stadium, I mean, things are really going to turn around in Washington. And with Jaden Daniels, if he can continue this type of play, will he be up there with Josh Allen? Will he be up there with Patrick Mahomes? Will he be up in that tier as it pertains to quarterbacks? It's to be seen.
Bob, I hate to tell you, they're not quite possibly the best team in the NFCs. They are the best team in the NFCs.
Yeah, we went over this last week. They are.
Yeah, but I think Robbie, you give this guy, he's working his way up there to being one of the top talents in the quarterback position here already.
Yeah.
He is this year's CJ Stroud, is what he is.
He could be better than CJ Stroud. He could.
I mean, the ceiling is extremely high.
Think about what CJ Stroud had his rookie year. Nico Collins. Tank.
Yeah, he was set up pretty good.
I mean, Terry McLaurin is a good receiver. We went over this. He kind of reminds me of what Santana Moss was. Like, he's their number one, but he's good. But like on other teams, he wouldn't be, good. He would be okay. That's what he has. He has his Santana Moss.
Yeah. Robbie, let's move on to the 4:00 games. And let's give the people what they want.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! I called it. I fucking called. Zach, can I take this one? I would love to take this one because I was the one brave enough on the show to make the fucking assumption and be fully correct. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't listen to Thursday's episode, I wish I had the big stack of a cock to really do something with my parlay. I stuck with the -3 with the Detroit Lions. But last Thursday, I stated the Lions are coming off of a bye. They're going back to Jerry World, where they were screwed, where they should have won that game with that passing touchdown to the offensive lineman that they said wasn't eligible, but that they reported as eligible. Zachary, the Lions came in with a vengeance. Dan Campbell had the boys fired up. We already know what he is. He said his first presser, you're going to knock us down. We come back up. We're going to fucking take a kneecap. We're going to fucking fight. We ain't ever going to quit. And this team didn't quit. They made the Cowboys reconsider their fucking profession. They reconsider they want to be in the NFL anymore. They probably think it's a better option to go fucking work at McDonald's right now. The Dallas Cowboys look like a bunch of fucking frauds. Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in football, and he's right there with Deshaun Watson because he fucking sucks. CeeDee Lamb, he did his thing. I'm going to give CeeDee the only fucking respect because he fought. He found a way to make yardage. Their running back situation, deplorable. Oh, we didn't have Micah Parsons. Well, prior to having Micah Parsons, he's been a complete non-factor. Trayvon Diggs went from one of the best corners in football to one of the most overrated cornerbacks in football. There's nothing about this Cowboys team this year that you could look at definitively and say, wow, we looked really good outside of week one. I'm sorry, Zach, when they killed the Browns. It's the truth, Zach. I hate to do it, but it just goes to show how bad both teams really are. This Cowboys team, there's nothing they can do to fix it, and it's all on the heads and shoulders of Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones. The second Dan Quinn left, and you brought in Mike Zimmer as your defensive coordinator instead of bringing in Rex Ryan.
All right, yeah, Robbie. I mean, we are talking about an absolute no spit, no lube, sandpaper finish, absolute butt fucking here.
I just want to say, please, for the love of God, I have the game on my screen here. I am on a stream. I am behind. If anybody gives away the fucking baseball game and what happens, you are banned for the rest of the show. You will not
be have it on my TV, and I'm going to be giving it away the whole time.
Shut up!
Robbie, 47-9 in Jerry World. I mean, this was a absolute statement victory.
And you know what's funny?
For
the Lions were eventually fucking playing around too, and they were just trying to throw passing touchdowns to the linemen that either A, weren't eligible, or B, didn't stand a chance.
I mean, just Rudy, I'm sure that was just absolute poetic justice watching that game, especially for what you had to go through last season.
And I love the video where you had the Dallas Cowboys chick fan fucking puking. You got the Lions fan grittying.
Yeah, just fucking. Let's check in on Dallas Cowboys fans. But Robbie, not much more to say about that. The Detroit Lions, they were my pick. I believe I picked them to win the Super Bowl this year. I think I did pick them. I did pick them to win the Super Bowl this year. And, I mean, obviously that Aiden Hutchinson injury is going to be a bit catastrophic. Have to see what happens. Dan Campbell, like I said earlier, has not ruled them out to return this year, which to me is just ridiculous. But I mean,
are we Zachary? I'm going to ask you a bold prediction here.
Yes.
Will the Dallas Cowboys make the playoffs?
No. Their defense is horrible. It is horrible. And I understand they've been dealing with injuries. Obviously, having no Micah Parsons.
The only person they lost in the offseason was Leighton Vander Esch. That was valuable, and he had so many neck injuries, he had to.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because their defense last year was top tier, and all of a sudden it's
Dan Quinn gone.
Yeah, that's true. You make a big change like that, and it's a big question mark for this Dallas Cowboys team this year, Robin. I think because that defense is that horrible.
And what's Dallas's loss is Washington's gain.
Yep, and obviously it's working out pretty good for Mr. Quinny Boy. He's just got to stop wearing his hat backwards. I feel like he doesn't look professional as a head coach with a hat backward look, you know?
It's nice. Don't hate.
But Robert, let's move on here. We got a few more games to talk about.
What's wrong with the hat backwards, you fucking bitch?
I'm saying as a head coach, you cocksucker, not a guy you know what I mean?
I wore my hat backwards when I was coaching basketball.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you coaching the Washington Commanders of the NFL, Robbie? No. You fucking weren't.
It's been around for 50 years.
Fucking goddamn it. Okay, Robbie, we got a couple games here that we can kind of steamroll right by if you don't mind here. Pittsburgh Steelers, Las Vegas Raiders. It was the last start, it looks like, for Mr. Justin Fields as the torch is being handed to Russell Wilson going into next week. Not too sure what the decision is there because they are 4-2.
What an idiot.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens there, but I mean, it's between the two here. I think the way Justin Fields been playing this year, sure, he doesn't have the greatest stats, but you're getting wins. So it's like, why mess with what's working? But obviously, they're not liking what they're seeing, so they're going to make that change.
Yeah.
And it's coming off a 32-13 victory over the pitiful Las Vegas Raiders, the Devontae Adams-less and possibly Max Crosby-less Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, Tom Brady just came out with a statement in terms of his ownership since we talk about the Raiders.
Yep.
I am incredibly humbled and excited to have been unanimously approved as an owner of Las Vegas Raiders. Throughout my NFL career, I've learned that it's at its core. Football is a game of teamwork, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. The Raiders franchise and the city of Las Vegas embody these same values, and I am honored to become part of that story. Football has been a part of my entire life growing up in the Bay Area in so many ways. My football life and journey has come full circle. I love the sport. I love my teammates, coaches, and the fans in every organization I've been a part of. Basically, the Patriots and the Buccaneers, obviously. Sports bringing us together in ways nothing else can. I grew up on the field, and it's a blessing to know I'll be involved in the greatest league in the world for the rest of my life. I'd like to thank Mark Davis for welcoming me into his family and the tireless work he's done to help build on the organization that so many fans know and love today. Also, thank you to Commissioner Goodell. It's the only time Roger Goodell's ever going to hear thank you for his support, as well as all the NFL owners that supported my dream. I'm forever grateful. I'd also like to thank my partner, Tom Wagner, Don Yee, Jim Gray, Alex Spiro, and Larry Delson, as they've been instrumental in helping me achieve this incredible milestone. I'm eager to contribute to the organization any way I can, honoring the Raiders' rich tradition while finding every possible opportunity to improve our offering to fans, and more importantly, win football games. Hashtag just win, baby. Hashtag LFG Tom Brady. So in other words, Zachary, Shedeur Sanders might become a Raider.
Well, I just hope that Mr. Tom Brady does not start getting his haircuts from Mr. Mark Davis's barber. That's my one thing I have to say there. And Tom Brady's kind of stepping into a bit of a forest fire here in Las Vegas, Robert, so we'll have to see what occurs. Mr. Robbie, let's move on. We got 3 more games to go over here. Atlanta Falcons against the Carolina Panthers, 38 for the Falcons, 20 for the Panthers. This Panthers team has looked like a kind of a brand new team. Brand new team here with Andy Dalton playing as a starting quarterback. I mean, obviously they're not getting wins, but at least they're staying somewhat competitive in these games. Yeah. At some point this season, though, Robbie, do you think they're going to give this back to Bryce Young just to kind of try to build on him a little bit, give him a little bit more confidence?
I don't know. Why rush it? Why rush it? There's no need to rush it. You're in a long rebuild anyways. I mean, this kid, maybe it's best for him to sit and just take observance on one of the veterans of the game. I mean, it's the same thing with Drake May. Maybe this is what they should have done from the start last year or even into the start of this year, is just sit behind, learn some things. But the difference between him and Drake May is he stepped on the field, so it's like a different sort of mindset. I don't think Bryce Young's going to succeed in the NFL. I think he's too small.
Yeah.
I think he's too small, and college to NFL is completely different. I mean, honestly, dude, go through all the Alabama quarterbacks. Outside of Tua, who's throwing screen passes to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, most of them have failed throughout the years.
Jalen Hurts.
Oklahoma to finish his fucking tenure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you are right. I mean, the quarterback position is a bit of a dime a dozen there at Alabama. It seems like now coming. It's kind of like Ohio State. It's those big schools.
Come out of that program's history is Joe Namath.
Well, he's done pretty good for himself.
He won 1 Super Bowl. He was a pretty shitty quarterback outside.
I mean, winning a Super Bowl, Robbie, is pretty impressive. Okay.
You know what that's like?
No, I don't. And neither do you. You just watch your team win one, okay? You never physically won one.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Virtual reality.
My God.
Were you going to say through porn?
No, I said, were you playing? Not through porn. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I heard
shaving.
I heard.
All right. Anyway, let's go to the Sunday night football game. Cincinnati Bengals 17, New York Giants 7. That's a little inside joke here, folks, for you guys just listening. Cincinnati Bengals get what I'm going to call is a must-win victory against, I know it's a shitty team of the Giants, and honestly, they didn't look fantastic. A 17-7 game, but the Giants have kind of surprised a few teams this year. They're a little bit more feisty than we had anticipated. They do drop this one here, but this was a must-win for the Bengals here just to kind of keep them afloat.
Well, Joe Burrow had that big rushing touchdown. He was held in check after that. I mean, the front seven for the Giants is pretty good. Malik Neighbors didn't play, but the interception that Daniel Jones had was terrible. It was
classic Jonesy.
Classic Daniel Jones. And it's now been let's just say this. It's been a very long time since Daniel Jones has thrown a passing touchdown at MetLife Stadium. Very long time.
Well, who knows when we're going to see the next one, Robbie.
I don't know when it's going to happen. I mean, Daniel Jones, they're literally a quarterback away from being a good team. They're good defensively. Oh, and they just suffered a tragic, horrific injury on the offensive end. Starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas, their best lineman, will be out for the rest of the season, suffering significant foot injury, a major blow to this Giants offensive line. Major blow. Robbie, let's move on to a quarterback that can throw touchdowns in MetLife and has done so this season. The New York Jets hosting the Buffalo Bills in a divisional matchup here. The Bills getting the 23-20 victory on 2 missed field goals for the New York Jets. Like me and Robbie, we've had our concerns with this Jets team all year, and week in, week out, they keep kind of adding to these concerns. We mentioned earlier they are bringing in Devontae Adams, so we'll have to see how this offense is with him. I mean, obviously, it's not going to get worse adding a guy like Devontae Adams there and bumping. Who is the number one guy there now, Robbie?
It's so confusing, dude. It really is, because Devontae and Aaron are like fucking best friends, obviously. I mean, he was at his fucking house for the Pat McAfee interview. But it's like Garrett Wilson is younger, he's faster, but it's like it's a very tricky situation. I have a buddy at work that has both Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. He goes, "Who do I trade?" And I tell him, I said, "Evo, I don't know." Because what is he going to – I think this Sunday if Devontae plays, Garrett Wilson's going to look better, because Devontae is still nagging the hamstring injury potentially, and is there any sort of rust between him and Rodgers?
There's no hamstring injury.
I know, I understand, but we got to do
It's the playbook, though. You're coming into a whole new offense. I mean, you've got 7 days or 6 days now to study it. Next week, I think this upcoming game, I think you're right. I think Garrett Wilson will get the majority of the reps, and then really from there on out, it's anyone's guess.
One thing's for certain, Mike Williams' time with the New York Jets has come to an end. Aaron Rodgers calling out his wide receiver kind of unprofessionally, in my opinion, in regards to Mike Williams not running the proper route. I mean, this guy his offensive coordinator is Nathaniel Hackett, bro. Seriously. I mean, outside, because like Garrett Wilson dealt him last year. Alan Lazard's part of the system. What do you want him to do, dude? I feel bad for Mike Williams, because we know what Mike Williams can actually do. We've seen it with the Chargers. I mean, would it be so bad for the Chargers to say, "Come on back home"?
God knows they could use the help of the receiving core.
I was going to say the Bills initially, but then they trade for Amari Cooper, so that's not needed. I mean, the Chiefs with fucking Mike Williams. Oh,
get that big body in there with
him. But then again, too, what's his impact with his recovery from the torn ACL?
We haven't really seen much of it this year, but obviously he really hasn't gotten the ball that much either. So
I have to go to FanDuel Sportsbook. One of my coworkers gave me a final score for tonight's Yankees Guardians game of 7-1, so I'm going to put $5 on it and hopefully win a couple $1,000.
Well, Robbie, while you're doing that, I will load up this Thursday night football game for us. We have to go over, because we will be doing our show not on Thursday, folks, Sunday morning.
Sunday.
Making our picks here. New Orleans Saints hosting the Denver Broncos. Assuming Spencer Rattler is going to be the quarterback again. I'm gonna take the Saints here, Robbie, and Spencer Rattler. I know they haven't really looked that great. Denver, in my opinion, Bo Nix, I mean, he is very hit or miss, more so miss than hit, in my opinion. Spencer Rattler looked great in that second quarter. Obviously, did not do much. Literally, did absolutely zero in the rest of the game, but something about it. I just think the Saints at home, they're going to take down this Bronco team.
Hosting Sean Payton, no Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler. Olave's probably not playing.
I forgot no Olave too. Fuck. Well, I already made the pick.
Mm-hmm. And Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton are starting to click. They really are. The defense, both defenses have looked pretty good. I know they gave up 51 points to the Buccaneers. I understand that. But they've had games where they've looked in New Orleans. But I'm going to go with Sean Payton getting revenge at his old turf. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos. Wait.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos. Well, Mr. Robert, that is a pretty extensive Week 6 recap, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get in to some MLB playoffs, because we are nearing the start of the New York Yankees game. I believe first pitch is, 7:47? Is that the
7:38?
7:38. Okay, so yeah, we are very much approaching here, Robbie. So let's get into it here.
Okay.
Yankees, Guardians, coming in to play game 2 in the Bronx. New York Yanks taking game 1. They They've got the Guardians number here, Robbie. I'm sure you want to take them down after what Mr. Josh Naylor with that little celebration last year, rocking the baby.
Who's your daddy?
They look tonight to take a commanding 2-0 lead. How are the nerves? What are we feeling here, Robert?
What do you mean nerves? What do you mean nerves?
I'm asking, are there any nerves?
No. There's been no nerves whatsoever. There's no nerves yesterday even with Rodon on the mound. Cole's in the mound tonight. We're hopping on the Cole train. Zachary. But you cannot take this Cleveland team lightly. Stephen Kwan is one of the best pure hitters right there with Luis Ariz in baseball. Jose Ramirez was close to a 40-40 season. Lane Thomas has done damage in the postseason thus far. The Guardians' bullpen has looked very good. We're going to be honest, the reason why the Yankees won yesterday was because the catcher for the Guardians, Bo Naylor, had like 4 pass balls, which resulted in 2 or 3 runs for the Yankees. But there is something to know. Juan Soto had a big home run, his first of the postseason. Giancarlo Stanton nearly hit 2 home runs, warning track power. And in the bottom of the 7th, an absolute piss missile by Giancarlo Stanton. 114 off the bat, 439 into fucking Death Valley. Zachary, I am not nervous. I am confident. And the only people that should be nervous are Dodgers fans when we're talking about the New York Mets. The Mets and Yankees, it's a possibility, baby.
Could be a Subway Series, Robbie. Well,
Give it to us!
the first pitch is 7 minutes away, folks. So we will be kind of, as we're going, I don't think we're going to be going too, okay, now I'm getting the finger from Robbie here.
Rock the baby just like Westbrook. That's right, Steve. Josh Naylor did rock the baby just like Russell Westbrook. And their common denominator is they get eliminated in the playoffs.
I'm glad I got cut off for that. We will be providing live updates. I don't think we'll be going too far into this game, but we will definitely be extending into a bit of this Yankee game, but we'll be keeping you guys updated. Next year's start here, Robbie. Mets and Dodgers tied at 1 apiece, going back to New York. This is where the baseball format can kind of play into the favor of the team that does not have the home field advantage. You get one game like that on the road, Robbie, and you are now going for a 3 straight game series at your home barn. You get a sweep there with your home fans. You're moving on to the World Series. Right now, Mets and Dodgers find themselves in that predicament going back to New York. Mets dropped game 1 after getting absolutely plowed by the Dodgers in game 1. But they bounced back in game 2, winning at 7-3 off what seems like the fucking 55th home run this Vientos guy, or 55th massive home run this Vientos guy has gotten in this playoffs. Not to mention, not even just a home run, but a grand salami. I believe it's his second grand slam of the playoffs. Maybe not second grand slam, but I know actually not second grand slam. I'm thinking of his. Anywho, the guy's on fire right now. Was it 2 grand slams? I think it was 2 grand slams.
I think you're right.
It was either him or was it Lindor that got the other grand slam?
Did Lindor have a grand slam against the Braves?
I can't remember.
Let's just say the Mets.
Whatever it is. Somebody Google it for us. Bob's saying Lindor. I think it was Lindor that had one of them.
Lindor.
But Robbie, that game 3 goes down tomorrow, 8:08 at night. Right now, the Mets are a very slight favorite at -115. The pitching matchup goes as follows: Luis Severino for the New York Mets going against Mr. Walker Buehler of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Game 1, I question why the Mets went out with Cody Senga. And the only thing that makes sense to me is because he's getting paid all that money that you felt like it was the need to go to him because of all the money that he was making. But what the fuck's going on? Oh, I was just watching a replay of the game from game 1. But Sean Manaea looked incredible up until that 6th inning where he, I believe, had the bases loaded. And then they brought in that relief pitcher where it brought in a couple runs for the Dodgers. But from there, the Mets found a way to plow on through to victory. Don't be so confident that there's home field advantage, Zachary. Where are the Dodgers originally from?
Couldn't tell you.
Yes, the fuck you could, bro.
Brooklyn?
Thank you. Yes. So
okay,
there
when
are.
was that, though?
Doesn't mean it carries on to generations, bro. My grandfather is a Dodgers fan because his father was a Dodgers fan. Like it carry. I mean, obviously, me and my dad, we didn't adapt to it, but I'm sure there's other families have adapted to that. So I mean, Otani's a generational figure. Hideki Matsui had a tremendous impact for the Japanese people in New York City to become Yankee fans. I'm sure there are probably people in New York become Dodgers fans. I'm just saying, there's no clear definitive home field advantage between the Mets and the Dodgers when you go back to New York. Dodgers all day in LA. In New York, I don't think it's going to be so in favor of the Mets.
I don't know. Maybe it's more so just like you're playing at your home barn where you're comfortable. You know the sweet spots. You know where you want to hit it. I just think there's more of a comfort. Blah, blah. I'm trying to think of the word, but I'm a little stoned right now. Comfortability. There's more comfortability. Comfortability. Yeah, was that what it is? Whatever it is. You know what I'm trying to say, folks.
Fucking retard.
Okay. Anyways, we could possibly be seeing both series tied 1-1, or we could be seeing the New York Yankees go up 2-0. Stay tuned to find out.
My nipples are hard for this game. I can't wait.
Okay, well, there we go. Well, Robbie, let's see what we can do to get you in that game there, my man. Let's start off. We have 2 more sports to talk about here, and I think we're going to have enough time to get through both.
Oh, wait. Nice. We didn't, I've been so distracted with the game. I forgot to. Well, it's too late. What sport are we going to next?
What do you want, Robbie? You want
That is by far the best fucking intro of the 4 that we have, in my opinion.
Yeah, that one gets your.
What sport?
We are going to the NBA here, Robert. We got a few notes. The word I was looking for was comfortability, by the way. I'm pretty sure is what it was.
When they're done with their last season, maybe we won't get sued for that song.
Let's hope not. Robbie, not.
Bros! Oh, we're good.
Not too much to talk about here in the NBA, but there is some news to go over. Steve, close your ears. Your man boy.
We don't like him anymore. We don't like him anymore.
Oh, we don't like him anymore. Then Steve, up wide. Paul George, newly acquired 76er, makes me hate him. Makes me hate this 76er team even more.
Yep.
Didn't last too long, Robbie, in a preseason game there. Hyperextends his knee. Looks like he is going to avoid a serious injury as it has been evaluated as a bone bruise. He will be reevaluated in a week's time. Is this something, though, that if you're a 76ers fan, you get a little bit worried? Like, uh-oh, Paul George dealing with the injuries. He's not getting any younger. The window is ever so shrinking if you're Philadelphia 76ers.
Fuck Paul George.
Fuck Paul George. Fuck the 76ers, baby.
Zachary, I got time for you
What?
for hockey. Get to that. When we get to hockey, I got time for you.
Well, Robbie, why don't we move on to some good, wholesome NBA news. I know you're going to be happy to hear this. I was happy to hear this.
Yes, we are. I'm waiting to hear TJ's schedule so we can figure out the draft.
Bam, bam.
Make sure you pass it on to Dan because I think Dan's still in the league as well. Pass it on to him. Like we're going to have a draft time. We're waiting on TJ's work schedule.
Well, Robbie, this man might not get drafted in fantasy basketball this year because he has not played in 2 years. But tomorrow night, the return of one Lonzo Ball for the Chicago Bulls. What version of this man are we going to see? Probably an absolute rust bucket. But the point is, he's getting out there and he's going to get some reps. And I hope to God we see a triumphant return with a Comeback Player of the Year awarded at the end of the year, Robbie. That would be my goal.
I agree. I just don't know. Like, I think his offensive game is going to be fine because he's just a spot-up three-point shooter and he's a great facilitator. I don't know what his defense is going to look like. That was one of the biggest parts of his game was his defense. I don't know what his defense goes like, how he's going to be able to shift defensively, how his footwork's going to be. I mean, he had an injury that most people don't have a career afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, it's damn near the same Ellen as Sean Livingston. So it's just a matter of what version is going to show up. By the way, I'm looking at the Guardians batting lineup right now. Bo Naylor, who had like 4 pass balls yesterday, is behind the plate again over Austin Hedges.
Well, you guys feel pretty good about that then.
We do.
Robbie, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot of question marks, but I'm just happy to see him getting back out there.
You didn't bring up something with the 76ers. Do you have it in your notes at all or no?
I don't, to be honest with you. What was it?
Joel Embiid has come out and openly said
Oh,
that
yes.
he doubts he's going to be playing any back-to-back games. Zachary, your thoughts on that?
Then you know what, dude? Then you don't deserve to make fucking whatever it is, $60-70 million a year. Like you are paid so handsomely to play a sport, and people pay their fucking hard-earned money to come see your bitch ass suit up and play, and you're gonna sit on a back-to-back because, well, I'm nursing these injuries. You're a professional fucking athlete. You have the greatest doctors in the world at the palm of your fingertips. You have every bit of therapy you can even possibly think of. Shut the fuck up and get out there and fucking play. I can't stand these fucking useless people that
Yeah,
can, like, you're a fucking big fat pussy if you can't suit up for back-to-back basketball games. Oh, you know what they maybe do if you're Joel Embiid? Hey, maybe don't play me for 37 minutes back-to-back in both games, and maybe throw me in for 25 minutes a game, and then I can suit up in both. To me, it's you're making all this money, and you're going to sit out, 20 games of the year? How many back-to-backs do you have? Fucking at least 10. At least 10 back-to-backs.
Yeah. No, Joel Embiid's a pussy, dude. And maybe he thinks that now that because they brought in Paul George, he doesn't feel like he has to do as much, and that's why. But at the end of the day, I mean, you want to compete for that number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, dude. You want home field advantage throughout the whole time of the playoffs, dude. Oh, and there's other NBA notes in case you didn't write it down. Do you have anything else for NBA notes, or is that it? Because we have one more.
I do have one more.
I think I know what it is.
Dante DiVincenzo makes the return to face his former team in preseason. And let me just tell you, Robbie, some fireworks were going off as DiVincenzo looks at Mr. Thibodeau and basically just starts giving him the fucking gears. Are you pulling it up?
I will.
I mean, Robbie, kind of unprofessional, but I loved every goddamn second.
Oh, I loved it.
DiVincenzo is a guy that I would like on my fucking team. The guy's got dog mentality.
Trying to find it, dude. Here we go. All right. I'm sure everybody and their mother has seen this clip, but just in case you haven't, here is Mr. Dante DiVincenzo.
He's still with the Timberwolves, but he's geriatric. He's 38 years old now, folks. Going to his 18 seasons over there.
Hits the free throw. Tells Jalen Brunson, he first goes, thanks for the trade, Thibs. That's what happens when they let you run the show. And he was a groomsman in Jalen Brunson's wedding. But, Zach, you can't tell me he hates that team with the burning.
Well, I mean, he thinks he was absolutely duped. I mean, they were building this Villanova super team over here, and he was a big part of that Villanova team. I mean, if I remember correctly, did he not hit the game-winning shot?
He hit
no,
big three.
So I mean, obviously, if you're him, you have a sour taste in your mouth. But to be honest with you, you weren't going to be a starter on the Knicks. I don't even know if you're going to even be a starter on the Timberwolves.
No.
You're kind of in a similar shitty situation. But I would just use all of this as ammunition. I mean,
I don't know if that report's accurate, Zach, because they'll report any bullshit in New York to make someone look like a villain. Trust
me. Report
about him wanting to leave because he wasn't going to be a starter.
I don't think he wanted to leave. I'm just saying that I think if maybe if it was up to him, if he was going to get moved like that, you want to get moved to a position where you can grow and not a similar spot that you were in before. But also, I think it was just a complete blindside on him. I don't think, none of us saw it coming. Who the fuck saw Julius Randle and DiVincenzo getting traded for Karl Anthony Towns? That was not in my bingo card.
Now, we did talk about it last year, but had you had told me that that's what Minnesota was going to get, I would have told you I feel like the Knicks are giving up too much. I mean, dude, the Knicks have given up 6 total first-round picks, 5 to Brooklyn, 1 to Minnesota. Oh, J. Ram, did he just hit a home run? My stream froze. Oh, no, I don't know. Anyways, Randall and DiVincenzo to the Knicks or to the Timberwolves for Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks. In my mind, when you look at the rosters from last season, they brought in Bridges, they brought in Cat. You brought Randall and DiVincenzo to Minnesota. Both teams are going to be great, but I think Minnesota won the trade, and they get.
I think they did too. You're still getting a very comparable big man in Julius Randle when he stays healthy, and then you're getting a solid 6-man too.
Very good. Very good.
And Robbie, that right there, my friend, is all we got for the NBA. If
you have feelings about the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, okay, go on.
Grady Dick has 15 points in the first quarter.
Oh, nice. There we are. I thought you were going to say that. I don't know if it was announced before, but Mr. Vince Carter will be entering the Hockey Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame as a Toronto Raptor.
Fucking idiot.
Okay. Robbie, let's get through the NHL quick so you can get back in watching your lovely New York. Bam, boys and girls. The NHL season has begun, and we are in full swing. Let's start off with a bit of bad news here for the defending Stanley Cup champions. Panthers captain Alexander Barkov goes down with an ankle sprain against the Montreal Canadiens, attempting to chase down Cole Caulfield to block the empty net goal. He slid awkwardly into the boards.
The puck.
Sorry, didn't mean to play that over.
Is that the injury, or is that somebody you want to load up?
That's what I want to load up.
Okay. Well, we will wait for that one there for a second. It was a pretty awkward fall there, Robbie. The ankle definitely made the first contact with the boards. Obviously avoided a serious injury. Probably going to be a couple weeks, but with those ankle sprains, man, those could be those little nagging injuries for the rest of the year. So,
what's the difference between an ankle sprain, let's say, with a football or a basketball shoe compared to an ice skate?
well, obviously you're getting what I would assume is a lot more support in the ankle on an ice skate, just because you're pushing on your edges so much more and you're using more of those ankles. I mean, maybe not using more of your ankles because you're doing more stops and starts, but that may be more physical. Because maybe it's a little bit easier to do the stops and starts when you're on skates, whereas you're planting your feet in basketball and football's in the turf. But, I mean, it's no matter which one you're playing, I think maybe it's probably better to get a sprained ankle in a skate because you do have that little bit of extra higher support on it. Like, you're not going to have that much give.
Yeah.
So maybe that helped them out a little bit. But, I mean, still, that's going to be something that's going to put you back a little bit. Robbie, speaking of putting you back a little bit here, we got to talk about two teams with some Stanley Cup aspirations that have struggled out of the gate. Starting off
Early.
It's early, but starting off with the team that made it to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals last year, Connor McDavid and this Edmonton Oilers team,
They
Robbie.
did the same thing last year, bro.
They did. 0-3, though. They've gotten 3 goals in their first 3 games for this high-powered offense with newly signed $14 million a year Leon Draisaitl. McDavid making that big money. They still got to sign Evan Bouchard to a big ticket contract. I mean, obviously not the start you want. I know it's early, but it's something you got to report on. Is there any sort of panic you think here, Robbie, for Edmonton?
They did it last year, too. They're going to be fine. No panic.
Well, this team, Robbie, this next one we want to talk about, I think there might be a bit of panic here, and that is with the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Avalanche have one of the greatest first lines in hockey. When you got Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen on the same line, you're going to have a powerful fucking first line. Robbie, besides that, their bottom 9 after that is, I'm going to say it might be the worst in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have no depth talent on this team. Obviously, they have unreal defensemen. You got Cale Makar, Taves. You got big bodies back there. So that's going to help them out. But the big problem so far this year is Alexander Grigoriev, their starting goalie, yanked in both of his starts here, Robbie, to start the season. He has not mustered up a quality start. Obviously, it's only 2 games, but you want to get that good start to start off your season to kind of ride momentum with. And right now, back-to-back bad starts, that's a big mental gap for a goalie. You know he's thinking about that 24/7, adding a lot of pressure on him. I mean, obviously, yes, it is early on, but just keep your eye on this Colorado team to kind of plummet through the rankings here. Obviously, still going to be a playoff team, but I'm taking this. I'm going to say this right now, Robbie. 3 games into the season, there is 0 chance the Colorado Avalanche are winning a Stanley Cup this year.
It's 3 games, bro.
0 chance.
Okay. Well, predictions.
Robbie, do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
No, I just think it's a bold prediction. Very bold.
Robbie, there is one last thing we got to talk about here before we let our lovely fans go.
I got a video. I got a video as well. Should I just play this video?
You know what? Play the video and I'll end off with the last. Or do you want me to say the last little stat?
What are you talking about? For your
I got one more thing to say.
Okay.
Going to my my second favorite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins here, Robbie. We have 2 milestones to watch out for. Sidney Crosby, 1 point away from 1,600 points in his career. Evgeny Malkin, 1 goal away from 500 goals in his career. So 2 big milestones to keep around in Pittsburgh. I think it would be so awesome if they connected on a power play goal, Crosby to Malkin.
Marcus!
Marky, 1,600 is pretty impressive,
Oh,
Mark. All right.
Gleyber Torres with the hot bat as he puts the ball down the left field line up against the fence. He's going to make it to second base. It's a leadoff double for Gleyber Torres, and the Yankees have runner on second base for Soto coming up.
All right, Robbie, play this video and let's get out there and watch some damn Yankees.
We'll drop the puck. 13 seconds.
What a moment.
Off the clock for Johnny Gaudreau.
I mean, real powerful shit right there, Robbie. I mean,
crowds chanting there.
obviously, no one is gonna forget about the just a complete tragedy that happened. He's getting honored all over the hockey world.
Did you see their coach tearing up when he heard the chant, Johnny? Oh,
and you know what? It's also, you know what? I feel really bad. If you saw the guy that was taking the face off for the Blue Jackets when they had the puck sitting off the side when they're doing the 13 seconds for him, that's Sean Monahan, who is one of Johnny Gaudreau's like best friends, and he joined the Columbus Blue Jackets this year to reunite to play hockey with Mr. Gaudreau. So you can only imagine how tough that is for him.
Soto through the outfield. It is a base hit.
Jesus
Torres
Christ.
stays at third.
Thank God we were getting emotional there.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, should we just let you go and watch this game, Robert? Let's let you go and watch this game.
Oh, we got nothing else to hockey. You had one more thing. You had one more thing.
No, that was the Crosby thing. It was Crosby Malkin.
Folks, we're not going to be back on Thursday. We're going to be back Sunday morning, 11 a.m. So if you listen to the podcast or if you listen to us prior to or now, 11 a.m. on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, that is another fantastic episode of Sports Cave, and it's always good when the Cowboys lose by nearly 38 points to be exact. What a great episode, Zachary. Aaron Judge, all rise. I hope he hits a bomb. Not bad in the center fielder. Number 99, the Judge. Zachary, take us on out.
That is it for another edition of the Sports Cave, folks. We will see you guys Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay sexy, Sports Cave.